Exactly 45 days ago, with the release of patch 7.4 during Season 7, Fortnite made a huge change to the game. Based on feedback and response from other limited time modes, added then into the core solo, duo, and squads were the following changes. You'd get plus 50 health or shield with each elimination. You'd also get 50 of each materials for each elimination. Your materials would be capped at 500 each, and you'd harvest resources 40% quicker. The response to this was overwhelmingly positive, but then, out of nowhere with the most recent update, Fortnite decided to remove it all. As soon as this update went live, there was a huge backlash online, and ever since, people have been spamming revert at Fortnite, wanting to go back to that old change, giving us those health, giving us those mats. However, despite the overwhelmingly negative response with the recent update, Fortnite have said nothing. Normally, with this much of a community going crazy, Fortnite respond instantly, they adapt instantly, so why is nothing happening and what is going on? Everyone watching this video right now, we're going to do an online vote on this video. If you do want Fortnite to revert back to the ability to get health and extra mats and farm quicker, hit that like button. If you are happy that that's gone and the current state of Fortnite is what you want, hit the dislike button. This is the only time you can do it, okay guys? But I'll let you off this once. So we can instantly look at that like and dislike ratio to see how many people do and don't want Fortnite to revert. Now, I've created a list of reasons why they should revert, why they shouldn't revert, and also a third secret option that could make everyone happy, and also talking about the fact, why have Fortnite been so quiet? What is going on, and why have they said nothing? First of all, why did this change even happen? What made Fortnite take out such a drastic change that everyone enjoyed and revert it back to old Fortnite? Well, with the most recent 8.20 update, this is exactly what they said. In the 7.4 update, we implemented a few pop-up cup settings into the core modes. After monitoring a combination of gameplay, data, and feedback, we've gathered necessary info to conclude this initial test. We feel it has resulted in an unhealthy level of aggressive play, diminishing other viable strategies. And with that, it was gone. Now, personally, I'm on Team Revert. I really enjoyed Fortnite in the state where you would get extra mats and you would get heals and shield from actually killing people. I had one of my best win-loss ratios in Fortnite in Season 8, which is probably the most competitive it's ever been, just because of those really nice changes and rewarding you for getting eliminations. However, I'm going to start with reasons why we shouldn't revert and just play both sides off so you can see it from either angles. The big one that everyone always mentions is that it stops thirsting. Thirsting in both duo and squads was even worse with the fact that you'd get that 50 shield and health after eliminating someone, because as soon as they went down, finish them off and it's only going to benefit you. There's even more reason to do it. Now, I don't play much duos and squads, but since playing at least a little bit in Season 8, I can definitely see why it's an issue. But let's remember, even without the 50 shield and health, if you take someone down, you're still going to want to eliminate them, if anything, just to get their mats. And there's a big reason why this shouldn't be the reason you don't want to revert. There's gonna be a reason that actually solves thirsting in Fortnite. We've talked about it before. It is the Reboot van. This van is so close to coming into the game. If you don't know what it is, I've talked about it in leaks previously. Essentially, when one of your teammates goes down in either duos or squads, you can actually pick up what will be basically like a reboot token. You can actually take it to these respawn vans. It will be in the same place each game all around the map, and actually bring your teammates back into the game. Even if you've been thirsted, if you're successful in doing that, your teammate will come back in and can continue to fight with your team. In one of the most recent Lux Cups, which was a tournament that was streamed by Fortnite only yesterday, you could actually see the respawn van was actually glitched and appearing in the tournament. People couldn't actually use it, but it does prove that it is so close to coming out, and that would solve thirsting regardless of whether or not they revert. Just something to think about. People are also pointing out the fact that if you play in arena mode, which is Fortnite's new competitive mode, which is always available now, you can still get the old settings of getting health and shield and getting mats upon elimination, so that's there for everyone, but it's only there for people that want to play competitive. And I'll talk a little bit more about the other side of his story in a little bit, but the option is still there to jump into arena and play with the old settings if you want to. Now, Fortnite themselves have said that they've got data, they've got statistics to back up their reasoning for taking out the health and shield and mats for eliminations, but why aren't they communicating this with us? Tell us what stats you're seeing and tell us what data you're seeing that made them make that decision, instead of just being tight-lipped and just said nothing at all. Does that mean that they're thinking about changing it? Does it mean that they're just completely ignoring it and hoping everyone else ignores it? What are they thinking? Fortnite, please talk to us. Okay, now moving on to the party that I'm in and probably the most of you guys are in, which is we should revert. Hashtag revert back to what we had. Why do we want this to happen? A, third partying is horrific when you don't get health and shield upon eliminations. If two people are fighting it out of a massive build battle, whoever comes out on top will likely have low HP, low shield. So getting a benefit from getting that kill means that if someone comes along and tries to pop a few shots at you from a million miles away and has just been really sneaky the whole time, you'll actually have a little bit of shield, a little bit of health to actually fend off that other enemy. You won't get third partied, as it's called. Now, with the changes currently, I've been picking people off which have had really low health. I've been picked off as well, and it just feels bad, man. It's not great, and it really encourages people to not engage and just sit back and fight other people without them even realizing. Probably my biggest issue is that the beginning of a game is heavily reliant on just finding shield. Who does and who doesn't find shield will ultimately be better off at the beginning of any drop in Fortnite. Previously, I loved picking up a weapon and just going straight into a head-on-head gunfight with someone, because you'll be rewarded instantly with getting that 50 shield, and you'll already be far better than anyone else that's just trying to hide away or rummage around and find some loot and not really do anything. And I really enjoyed that encouragement to engage at the beginning of the game, and really it helped you out in a massive way. It was really fun, at least in my opinion, and I missed that because at the beginning now you can land, not find shield for like 5-10 minutes, and someone comes along that's been stacking minis, stacking full half pots, and he can just take you out really easily. Now, my next point, I said that my last one was my favorite. I think honestly there's so many reasons why they should revert. This is another great one. Essentially now, with the inability to get health and shield upon eliminations, you need to have some sort of backup of health, shield, more so than just that 6 stack of minis in a lot of cases. I found that with the old settings, I could carry only minis, and sometimes I wouldn't even carry minis. I would carry redeploy snipers and then a full loadout because I didn't necessarily need them. If I was being aggressive, I was getting those eliminations, I could restore that shield nice and easily. However, now I'm finding myself actually dropping that 5th inventory slot and sometimes holding minis and full shields and sometimes even medkits just because I need to have some source of reliable healing and shield method, which means that your actual ability to choose and pick a varied loadout is completely diminished, completely gone, and those little things like clingers or even gas grenades or just those things which are quite fun to pick up every now and then are just left behind every single time because you do not have space for them. On top of that, at the end game, which is so crucial in a Fortnite match, there is no reason to push anyone. There was no reason to peek. There was no reason to do anything aggressive apart from just turtle in a 1-by-1 because you aren't going to get any benefits from taking someone out. If you pick off a beautiful sniper or a beautiful AR shot as someone's rotating, now all their loot's just going to drop in the middle of the open and you probably won't have a chance to go and pick it up, and you're not getting anything for that elimination. Whereas before, at least if you're on low health, low shield, and you've got a few nice picks at the end, you're boosting yourself back up to have a chance to challenge for that #1 spot because of those nice picks you'd got. Now, however, if you're peeking your head and you're trying to take someone out, you could get sniped or you could get shot up and your shield's completely gone, and then you're just useless. You're stuck there, potentially with no extra shield to put on, and it just makes endgame pretty boring in my opinion. Now, I mentioned that Arena does still have these old settings, but I want to point out that if you're a casual player that's starting to get good at the game, where you don't get health and shield and mats for eliminations and then decide to make the jump into Arena, suddenly it's a different world. Suddenly it's so much more fast paced, and making that jump is near, like, well, not impossible, but it's certainly a lot harder, and it completely changes how Fortnite works, meaning that Arena just stays super competitive and people never filter in because the game is literally so different from casual play. Now, having given points out for and against reverting, there is a potential middle ground, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is what Fortnite comes out with, or at least is thinking of in the back of their heads. So I put out a vote on Twitter with 3 options. The first one was, yes, we should revert. The second one was, no, we shouldn't revert. But the third one was a middle ground option. This middle ground option basically goes in between both of them, offering maybe 25 health or shield per elimination and only 25 mats per elimination as well, basically putting it in the middle to keep everyone happy. Now, this is only my suggestion, and Fortnite may never do this or may even just tweak it a little bit. It could be anywhere between 0 and 50 to what we're used to, but it could keep both parties happy. Looking at the votes, a lot of you guys quite like my suggestion, but the majority by far is in favor of reverting the changes and going back to the ability to getting the health, getting the shield, and getting the mats per elimination and speeding up the play of Fortnite. Now, like always, we always get a weekly update in Fortnite, and if Fortnite do not come out and make any sort of statement to the revert scenario that we're in with this week's update patch notes or whatever we get added into the game, I will be really surprised. They've been quiet now for about 4 or 5 days. Normally the updates come out on about Tuesday, Wednesday each week, so in a few days time we could be hearing more officially from Fortnite, and we'll see what they say. As soon as they let us know, I'll feed back to you guys as well, so you can always be in the loop too. But that's what I've got to say on the situation at the moment. It is certainly a big controversial topic that everyone's talking about. I'm really interested to see what you guys have voted down below on the like and dislike button. And as always, I'll see you guys for another video. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.